So George R.R. Martin has spoken out against, I guess you could say, people like me and a lot of you in the fellowship for being anti-fans of fandoms, people who celebrate when things flop, for example, because it's not like, oh, wait a minute, maybe people who are fans of these things actually want to see something good and are celebrating when they see what they love getting ruined, flopped. No, couldn't be that. It's all the fans' fault every time something goes wrong with an ongoing franchise. Of course, blame the fans, current status quo. So let's go ahead and dive into this video. This article comes to us from Bounding Into Comics, where they say Game of Thrones creator George R.R. Martin says toxicity is growing in fandom culture. Laments how social media is ruled by anti-fans who delight in dancing on the graves of anyone whose film has flopped. Get good. Get good. That's a possibility. Make fans happy. That's an option. Give fans what they actually want to see. I haven't dived into everything here, but just on the surface, this is such a retarded mentality to me, because it's like, do you really think that people like us just have nothing better to do with our lives and we just want to see things flop just for no reason, just for kicks and giggles? No, when you're looking at things like Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Amazon and what they've done with that. Yeah, we're dunking on it like crazy on social media. But the reason why isn't because, oh, here's this random thing I don't give a crap about, let me hate on it. It's like, no, they ruined what we love. It's like, if they're gonna ruin it, then yeah, we're gonna celebrate when it flops, because it's like, told you so. Already the audacity of taking a property with an existing fan base that people love and then, oh, we're just going to change it and we're going to insert our own stuff into it, and we don't care if you like it or not. Then yeah, of course we're going to celebrate when it fails, because this is a thing as artists in this case. You need to care about the fans. Give the fans what they want and profits. Why is that such a difficult concept? I don't know. So let's go ahead and read what they wrote here. According to Game of Thrones creator George R.R. Martin, in addition to a growing number of world conflicts and social divisions, and apparent rise in toxicity across fandom culture is a major contributing factor to the currently disheartening state of the world as it is today. The author offered his thoughts on this phenomena in a January 29th blog post made to his official website, aptly titled Dark Days. Therein, he spoke to his feelings towards his beliefs that while 2023 was a nightmare of a year for the world and the nation, and for me and mine, both professionally and personally, 2024 was looking to be even worse. I can't help but think that there's some projection going on here, because I never got into Game of Thrones. I watched the first episode and I was done because it was just way too vulgar for me. I think, was it the first episode? Because I just watched the first episode and it had like a brother and sister, really just getting it on. And I was like, I can't watch this. It's disgusting to me. I couldn't watch it. But, a lot of Game of Thrones fans were very disappointed with how he ended it. Again, I don't know why, but I think that's why there's some projection going on here. I think he's still a little butthurt about the fact that, oh, fans didn't like how I wrapped up my own series here. Granted, that wasn't the books. That was the television, the HBO show, all this stuff. I don't know. I'm not a Game of Thrones expert, but still, I do feel like there is a bit of projection here. All right, so let's continue. To this end, Martin explained that his fears stemmed from a number of current events, including the numerous wars being fought across the globe, the deaths of a number of his sci-fi and fantasy writing peers, and the fact that the U.S. grows more polarized every day. Hate is rising. Democracy is under threat. Millions of Americans have swallowed the lie that the 2020 election was stolen. He mused on his last phenomena. Newspeak has taken over political discourse. Cancel culture is destroying lives and careers, and we have a disgraced, indicted, venomous ex-president winning primaries despite openly declaring that he will be a dictator on day one and will govern on a platform of retribution when he is not busy grabbing women by the... His last attempt to overthrow the government failed on January 6th. I can't even read this without laughing. But some of his more ardent supporters are now saying that next time they will bring more guns. There are actually folks out there wanting civil war. It is hard to escape the feeling that we are living in the Weimar Republic. Okay, I just find this kind of funny how he first mentioned, oh yeah, cancel culture. Oh, I hate cancel culture. And then he goes on with this rhetoric of all the cancel Donald Trump stuff. Apparently he only cares about cancel culture if someone he likes is being canceled, but he's totally fine with it. He's totally fine with cancel culture and canceling people and taking things out of proportion, taking things out of context, changing narratives, all this kind of stuff. If it's someone you don't like, then yeah, you're allowed to say that they did this or that or the other. And don't even get me freaking started. All right, but despite this ever-growing cloud of despair hanging over his head, Martin informed his readers that he still tried to take solace where I can. In chocolate thrones, if nowhere else, he detailed in books, in films, and television shows. However, upon his turn to the subject of entertainment, Martin's briefly optimistic demeanor soured once more, with the author proceeding to lament how, though even there, toxicity is growing. Oh, okay. People not liking what I like, and people having opinions on things, and fans actually caring about their properties and that they're fans of and not wanting to see them changed or ruined. Oh, how dare they? That's toxic. It used to be fun talking about our favorite books and films. Yeah, because they were good. When they were good. And having spirited debates with fans who saw things different, said Wildcard's series creator. But somehow, in this age of social media, it is no longer enough to say, I did not like book X or film Y, and here's why. Now social media is ruled by anti-fans who would rather talk about the stuff they hate than the stuff they love and delight in dancing on the graves of anyone whose film has flopped. Or maybe a lot of entertainment has just been abysmal lately. Just so bad. We're hurting. We are hurting for good entertainment. And not to mention how many, we are in an era of remakes, reboots constantly with movies, with video games, and this, that, and the other. And so, yeah, you already have an existing fan base of these things, but they're remaking these things and they're making them worse. Or they're inserting different ideologies. They're censoring stuff that was in it because, oh no, can't make this joke in current day. That's offensive. Everyone wants to be offended all the time now. So, yeah. And this is something that he fails to acknowledge. It's on social media. Like, a lot of us just living our lives, think about how things used to be like in the 90s and stuff like that. People were a lot more lighthearted with things. We could joke around. We could just, you had your jokes that were You had slang words like retard, stuff like that. Wasn't that deep. You had jokes about race and women jokes, things like that. That was just lighthearted and fun. And people decided to start cry bullying. And because of that, yeah, we're pushing back against it now. We're sick of it. We got cry bullied into, just think about recent years, a couple years ago or so. We got cry bullied so hard to where it's just like, dude, I can't say this. Oh, I can't joke about that. Oh, I can't. And it's just constantly walking on eggshells just to exist without offending somebody. So yeah, we're sick of it. And so does it seem like there's this giant pushback or people are being insensitive or toxic? Yeah, I could see how it would appear that way to some of these people. And what they don't realize is that we have been bullied so hard that now we're just on the we're on the offense now. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna let you bully me anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and joke. I'm gonna go ahead and use these slurs that were quite hilarious to use just 15 years ago, 10 years ago even. But now that this is an offensive thing, it's like, okay, go ahead and cry about it. I'm still going to use these words in my jokes, cry about it. I'm so tired of being bullied. And the thing is these people they're bullying from a virtuous high ground. So they want to pretend like it's out of virtue. They want to pretend like they care when really they're just obsessed with policing people. And they want to tell you what words you can say, how you can speak, what you can joke about, this, that, and the other. It's gotten out of hand. So yeah, there's pushback on that, and rightfully so. All right, let's continue. Finally, noting that the topic of the U.S. immigration crisis was also one which filled him with despair. Martin ultimately concluded of his thoughts, "It is all so sad." Martin is currently said to be working on the next book in his Game of Thrones series, The Winds of Winter. However, as of writing, it's anyone's guess as to when or if ever it will receive an official release date. That's another thing. It's like, I think this is almost a preemptive thing to where whatever he's working on, there's going to be people who don't like it. So, okay, let's just call them anti-fans. Let's just put that out there now. Anybody who doesn't like what I'm doing, they can't be valid. They're anti-fans. So this is just the nature of where we're at with a lot of things. And hey, don't let people like that bully you. Don't let people say, oh, you're toxic for this or for having criticisms. This whole toxic positivity thing is retarded. And we're just like, oh, we're only supposed to consume any slop they throw at us, any trash, any cheap trash, uncreative garbage that most writers these days, a lot of modern day, Hollywood writers and things of in that scale, right? A lot of them are just terrible. They just suck. So no, we shouldn't be forced and pushed into a corner of, oh, just consume and like it. Just consume and like it. No, actually, how about you get good? And we're allowed to say if we don't like something, we're allowed to criticize stuff. And yeah, we're allowed to laugh when something that tries to push its ideologies on us fails. It's funny. So anyway, there you have it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And yeah, if you want me to read the Bible to you, you can check out my Bible channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mack, here on YouTube. Thank you all again for hanging out with me. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom. Miles Morales is Miles Morales.